What do we got going on now? Oh my goodness. Look at here. We're going to do something maybe a little different. So remember, whatever we do it well. Okay, so we want to be able to get our final answer in this form, a plus bi. So this is what we got. We got 4 over 1 minus 5i, and we want to get it in this form right here. So this is what we're going to do. We got to get rid of this I down here on the denominator. And we do that simply by multiplying through by the conjugate. The conjugate. So let's look at this for a second. See the minus sign? We write a plus. So this part here, the real part, is the same as the real part here. In the imaginary part, it's just a reflection. Really, that's what's going on here about the x-axis, but we'll talk about that later at some point. But remember, if this is a minus, then you put a plus, okay? What you put down here in the denominator, you got to put up in the numerator. All right. Now let's look. So we're going to have 4 times this stuff, which is actually going to be 4 times 1, which is 4. And then 4 times 5i, which is going to be 20i. Okay, let's multiply the bottom out. So 1 times 1 is 1. 1 times 5 is 5i, plus negative 5i times 1 is, I wrote a plus sign here. So where are we at here? 1 times 1 is 1. 1 times 5i is 5i. Negative 5i times 1 is negative 5i. And negative 5i times positive 5i. So actually what I'm going to do here is I'm just going to put that in parentheses times positive 5i. So this is going to be equal to, we'll rewrite the numerator, over, okay, those will cancel out. Positive 5i minus 5i cancels out. Now, you have a negative times a positive, so this is going to be negative. 5 times 5 is 25. And I times I is I squared. Are we done? Not yet. Actually, let's just write this down below. We got plenty of paper. So 4 plus 2i over 1 minus 25, and that is a negative 1. So I squared can get replaced with a negative 1. 4 plus 2i over, so we have a negative times a negative makes that positive. So this is going to be what 1 plus 25 is 26. Okay, so now we're going to break this up. 4 over 26 plus 2 over 26i. And of course, we can simplify that down. 2 goes into 4 2 times. And 2 goes into 26 13 times. 2 goes into 2 1 time. 2 goes into 26. Wait a minute. what's going on here? I need to look at something real quick. Did I make a mistake here? I sure did. 4 times 5 is 20. I knew something wasn't right. Something was not right, and you were probably going, uh-oh, he made a mistake. But you know what? I'm going to eventually find that mistake, so don't give up on me. Boy, I didn't mean to do that. Erased everything. It's okay. We got 20i there. Alright. Let's put 20 in there. So let's look at this again. We got 2 goes into 20 10 times. 2 goes into 26 13 times. I. So I don't think we can break that down anymore. That's it. Well, that was fun. Let's look at another one. 6 minus 8i over 1 plus I. So we're going to have to multiply. We got to get this I out of the denominator. We want to break this thing up into the A plus. We want to get it into this form right here where we have the real part and the imaginary part. Okay. So we're going to multiply, rewrite. Multiply the denominator by the conjugate. Didn't mean to write that. So that means you're going to multiply the bottom by 1 minus I, and then let's put parentheses around here, and 1 minus I in the numerator. Okay. So here we go. 6 times 1 is 6. 6 times negative I is negative 6I. Negative 8I times 1. And negative 8I times negative I is negative times negative is positive. 8 times I squared. Okay. This is all over. Let's go ahead and multiply the bottom out. 1 times 1 is 1. 1 times I is negative I. 1 times, or I times 1 is I. And I times negative I is negative I squared. Is equal to, okay, so we're going to have, let's look at this. Let's go ahead and write the 6 in. So we got negative 6i minus 8i is going to be negative, what in the world is that? Oh, geez. What's 6 plus 8? Does anybody know? It's 16, 50, 14. I always have problems with that for some reason. Okay, what is this? This is negative 1, remember? So this is going to be minus 8 over, let's look at the bottom. That's going to cancel out. This is going to be negative 1. So we're going to have 1 minus negative 1. All right, so let's look at this. So we got 6 minus 8, which is negative 2, right? And then minus 14i. That's going to be all over 2. So we can now break this up into negative 2 over 2 minus 14 over 2i. And of course, that will simplify down to negative 1 minus 7i. There you go. We got time for another one? I think we got time for one more. Let's do it. Here will be an easy one here. 1 minus 3i, so this is your quiz, over 4i. What are we going to do? What are we going to do? What's the conjugate of this guy? 1 minus 3i. Let's go ahead and put parentheses around that. Over. So if we have a 4i in the denominator, what we can do is we can multiply the bottom by I and the top by I. See that? Because now what we're going to have, is I'm going to go ahead and distribute this across. Might as well do it now. Okay, that becomes 3i squared over 4i squared. What is I squared? It can get replaced with a -1 over I squared gets replaced by -1. So we have a negative is positive. I plus 3 over -4. Remember, we got to get it in this form right here. Okay, that's the form we got to get it in. I'm going to go ahead and switch places. We can do that. Alright, we're getting close now. Now we can break it up. We got -3/4 minus 1/4 I. Minus 1/4 I. Bam, there it is. So your A is equal to -3/4. Right, that's your A. Your B is going to be equal to the -1/4. All right, see that? Okay. I think you should have caught on by now. See over there? I think we got a few more. Oh, we're finally getting around to the quadratic equation, I think. Yep, that's going to be the next video. We're going to go back now to the quadratic equation and find solutions. See you there.